Welcome to Germany, where I am here to see a very important car, the Kia EV5. Why is it important? Well, the mid-sized family SUV class is still the biggest when it comes to sales. Just look at how its stablemate, the Kia Sportage, sells. And this basically is the pure electric version of the Sportage, only it's called the EV5 and it looks completely different. Anyway, in this video I'm going to tell you all about it, how it stacks up against the competition for price, how far you can go in it, and how Kia has turned to Tesla for a bit of inspiration. But before we get started, you know what to do. Please subscribe. Kia has been really busy since it trademarked the names EV1 through to EV9. So we've seen them strike through the 2, the 3, the 4, the 6 and the 9 off the list, and this now takes care of the 5. It's basically a dinky, honey I shrunk the car, baby EV9, and it's got all the same design elements. The tiger face here at the front, the boxy looks, those cool star map rear lights. Now, I do like the EV5. I mean, it just looks a bit like an EV9. It's hard not to. But I know that some of you prefer a car that doesn't make as much of a statement, so do let us know what you think in the comments below. Now, in terms of size, it's slightly larger than the Kia Sportage. It's got a slightly longer wheelbase, and it fits in neatly between the Kia EV3 and, of course, the EV9, which, incidentally, both won World Car of the Year, one in 2024 and the EV3 this year in 2025. So no pressure for the EV5 then, none at all. As usual with Kia, the trim options are very straightforward. You get a choice of 3. Air, GT line, which is this car, and the top spec GT line S, and there are 7 different colours to choose from. The GT line cars get a sportier look with gloss black highlights, a more aggressive looking front and rear bumpers and sportier alloys. Now, I know that loads of you watching may not be in the market for a new car like this one. Did you know that we have some brilliant used car listings over on our website electrifying.com, where you can search cars by really handy things like battery health checks. If you want to head over there and take a look, you can scan that little QR code and that will take you there. So if you're watching this video on your smart TV or your tablet, you can carry on watching and scroll the listings all at the same time. We're filming this in the middle of a heat wave and it's about 100 degrees in the studio, so I'm just imagining that I'm out on a sailing ship on the ocean with the breeze, thanks to the sounds of nature that come already loaded into the EV5, as they do in all of Kia's range. And actually there's been, I think, quite a few additions here. I think there's moments of meditation new. Ooh, what's that one? Harbingers of spring, how lovely. I'd love to know if you are a Kia owner and you actually use that. I did ask Kia the question, they've got no data on that at all. So if you're a Kia owner, do you use Sounds of Nature? And if so, which is your favourite? Let us know in the comments below. Anyway, moving on. It's very familiar in here, isn't it? Really is. Kia EV3, Kia EV9. It's just, you know, it's a pretty much identical interior with a few differences. You've got all the practical storage space, these massive cup holders with those flippy things that come in and out. You've got wireless charging. You've got this handy storage tray down there, which I really like, and also a decent sized storage compartment under there. But I think overall, the thing that I love about Kia's interiors is that they just don't overcomplicate it. So yes, you've got these 2 touchscreens with this third smaller climate control here in the centre, but you've also got haptic buttons and physical buttons for the things that you need most, together with this big volume button here, which I really like. And there's also stuff on the steering wheel. But despite the fact that you've got all that, it still manages to look streamlined and modern in here. So let's turn to the tech, because there is quite a lot to talk about. So as I said, we've got the 2 12.3-inch screens, this central climate control screen in the centre. One of the things I really love about that is that if you want to have a deep dive into the climate control, you just press that little button there and it comes up on the screen. Either you or the passenger can, do what you need to do, and then it minimises really quickly. It's a very intuitive system to use this. Now, you also get a head-up display on the top spec model, And again, something that I like is that if you're using Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, the directions will sync into that display. Again, just something that's really usable, particularly for those of us, and I know there are a lot of us, who would prefer just to use our phone for navigation directions rather than use the inbuilt system. Now, the EV3 has just had a Kia AI assistant added to it, controlled by ChatGPT, which apparently has massively improved the voice activation system. I haven't had a chance to try it yet, but I've heard very good things. That is coming to the EV5 as well, as is the ability to pay a monthly subscription fee and to stream things like Netflix or Disney+. Now, I mentioned earlier that a few things had been inspired by Tesla, didn't I? One of them's getting me very excited. Pet mode. So if you're familiar with dog mode on Tesla, you'll know how it works. It allows you to set the temperature if you have to leave your four-footed friend in the car so they can stay nice and cool or just warm enough. And it also pops up a little notification on the screen that says the temperature is set and my owner will be back soon. Now, that won't be available on the EV5 from launch, but it will be coming pretty quickly to early cars via an over-the-air update. And I rang the technology by the four-legged road testers on the team, Rodney and Larry and Ziggy, and they said they heartily approved and came back with a very big to that. It also comes with an familiar vehicle to load capability and an interior 3-pin plug socket, which is handy for everything from plugging in your hairdryer on a camping trip to powering up your garden tools, and even charging other EVs or plug-in hybrids. Here in the back, feels massive. I mean, again, for reference as always, 5'4". Manos behind the camera, 6'2". This seat is set. Oh, what now? What now? What? Yes. Oh, he said yes. I thought he said no. Like it's 6'2.5" because the half makes all the difference. Ah, look, it's just, there's a lot of space in here. I mean, one of the things that you can sometimes struggle with family cars is putting rear-facing child seats in because they're pretty big and bulky. You're going to have no issues with that whatsoever. And I like the fact that there's a really decent sized recess under the seats where people with much longer legs than mine can slide their feet. Talking about child seats, you've got two ISOFIX points here in the back on the two outer seats. Now, there isn't one in the front passenger seat. It's not really a Kia thing, and I do think that's a bit of a shame. Cars like the Enyaq, the ID4, the Peugeot E3008 do all offer one now, and it actually is really practical and handy in a family car. The other thing, what? Oh no, I'm allowed to mention it as a competitor car. I'm not recommending it in this video. I'm talking about the EV5. No, I'm not giving, it's the swear jar. I'm not paying into the Enyaq swear jar now. Sadly, there is also no heated or cooled picnic box and fold down picnic tables, because that's what you get on the models that are built in China and are on sale in other parts of the world. It's just down here and, you know, keeps your coffee warm in winter and your drinks cold in summer. It's brilliant. You do get this though, which just pulls out. It's a little kind of storage compartment, but with a snack area in there, which will fit in, yes, Manos' snacks. Very unhealthy pizzas and 2 pretzels because he doesn't like sharing, so he likes to hide them away. They'll be coming with me, please. That's quite handy. You've got, as usual, USB-C ports on the side of the seats. Now, throughout, there's some pretty dodgy plastics in here. That's not very nice, is it? It's a bit shiny. And also down at the front. So I do need to point out that this is a very, very early pre-production car. So don't take too much on that at the moment. When we see the final production cars, a lot of these finishes will be vastly improved. The other thing I'd say is to think carefully about how you spec this car. This has got a very, very dark interior and it does feel a bit oppressive in here. You've got these kind of pleathery seats, which are really practical if you've got kids or you're just generally messy like me, because you can wipe them down. The entry-level Air will only come with cloth seats. One of the things I love about the seats though is this. There you go. Oh, I know I was supposed to do that. What happened there? How did I do? Get back. Okay, they recline. You can. That's not ideal, is it? Yeah, they recline. You can have them like that, or you can have them like that. What you don't want to do is have them like that, because that's really not a comfortable way to drive. Obviously this isn't ideal, particularly if you've got kids in the back, and I have been assured by Kia that because this is a pre-production car, pre-production, there will be a safety catch on there that will stop this happening, but it doesn't really help me today. Manos, can you help me out? Manos?
Yeah.
Can you help me out? I can't, it's really heavy, I can't get it out.
Thank you.
Manos?
Okay.
Manos?
Fine.
Manos!
It's alright.
I won't eat your pretzels, you can have them back. And when you do get your seat back up, you've got armrests with cup holders and a ski hatch.
This video is brought to you with Andersen EV, the UK's most awarded home charge point brand of 2024, offering over 200 colour and finish options, a market-leading 7-year warranty and a unique hidden tethered cable.
Now the battery on this has got a total capacity of 81.4 kilowatt hours, 78 kilowatts of which is usable, and it's lithium-ion NMC chemistry. Now this differs to the cars already on sale in other parts of the world. It gives an official range of 329 miles. There will be a smaller battery version for some markets, but we won't be taking it in the UK because Kia doesn't reckon that people will want to buy it because the difference between the two won't be that great. Now the Skoda Enyaq, the Peugeot E3008, the Ford Explorer, Vauxhall Grandland, all have models that will go further in range. But as always, it's about efficiency, isn't it? And we generally find Kias do perform slightly better than quite a lot of the competition on that front. Charging, that maxes out at 150 kilowatts on a rapid charger, and you can charge up to 80% in 30 minutes. Now, Kia doesn't give us info on the charging curve of its cars, and there's no point using the ones already available for this car, which has been on sale in other parts of the world, because of those differences in the battery chemistry. So we're going to report back on what the charging curve looks like when we've had a chance to spend longer in it and drive it properly. AC charging is the standard 11 kilowatts. There's no 22 kilowatt option yet. A little bird tells me it will follow though down the line. Heat pumps. Now, in line with Kia's other EVs, you get the option of adding a heat pump on the top spec model. Heat pumps are something we debate a lot at Electrifying, and we really have come to the conclusion that unless you were doing a lot of mileage in winter and really regularly driving longer distances, it may not be worth you forking out extra for one. So if you're in the market for one, really take a close look at that and do the sums before you spend that money. We obviously haven't driven the EV5 yet because it's a prototype version here in a studio, but it's on the same platform as the Kia EV3. So that means it gets 214 brake horsepower, it's front wheel drive, and 0 to 62 takes 8.4 seconds on all the models. Now, one of the good things about Kia is that the suspension setup is always done for the local roads wherever the car is sold. And they're really good at doing that. The dampers, the suspension, the steering, they're always tuned accordingly. And we found that generally that means you get a really refined ride quality from its cars. And we would expect this to be exactly the same. So the all-important, in any family car at least, boot, and that is 566 litres in terms of space. You get pretty much triple that with the seats down, which do fold completely flat. It's a really good size actually in this class. Not as big as the Skoda Enyaq, but you do get a 44-litre frunk with this, which the Enyaq doesn't get. I also like the fact that under here you've got this sub-compartment, which is really handy for cables, muddy wellies, just for keeping stuff out of the way. And also, the opening is just over 1 metre wide. You've got no awkward lip to lift things over. Again, it's going to make getting, kids' bikes and scooters and pushchairs into the back really easy. Do ignore the plastics though. They're a bit ropey here in the back, and that's because, as I keep saying, this is a very early production car. So I've been looking over the numbers for the EV5. If you go for the entry level, which is the Air, which incidentally I think is still really well spec'd with things like reversing cameras, it gets heated seats, it's got a heated steering wheel. Anyway, I've been looking at that, and of course it gets that 81.4 kilowatt hour battery pack and a range of 330 miles, which all the models get, and that means it stacks up so well price-wise against the competition because it's going to start at £38,500. which means that it will undercut entry-level models of cars like the Skoda Enyaq, the Nissan Ariya, the VW ID4, the Peugeot E3008, and of course the Model Y. Top spec, that's going to top out at around £45,000. And I do think this is going to be a really hard car to beat. Yes, I need to check the quality of the materials when we see a production car, and I need to drive it. But I think the Kia EV5 could tempt many of its Sportage siblings over to electric for the first time. But as always, what do you think of it? Do let us know in the comments below, and while you're there, please switch those notifications on and subscribe.
You're filming this?
Of course I'm filming.
Oh, great.
I have a flight. See you later.
Why are you being so mean to me today? I didn't even eat your pretzels.